on DAZN worldwide, May 2nd and 3rd. A knockout weekend of boxing. Garcia versus Romero and Canelo versus Skull. 2 huge fights. Pick one or go all in for only $90. Exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
This is Kugan Cassius for iFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Peter Fury. How are you, Peter?
Yeah, not too bad, Kugan. Thanks. See you all right?
All good, all good. Same day, same old bollocks, basically.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I've only just got back, and first day in the gym is always hard work, isn't it?
We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about it in a minute. Pete, just a reaction to a great fight on Saturday night between Eubank and Conor Benn.
Yeah, listen, to see what can you say? I think it definitely is a very unique boxing event because of the fathers and what happened there. And, you couldn't get two sons as much like the father as them pair. Like they're a copy of the fathers, aren't they? They fight the same. The mannerisms are the same. It's like it's an unreal experience, and to see the fathers in the ring with them and before it started, you can just imagine. I'll tell you the scale of it when you look at the pride involved, and either one would rather die than lose. So there was so much at stake, and to perform the way he did, what can you say? It was I was gripped with it every round, So I think I knew this would be a great fight, and it turned out to be just that. I thought it was a brilliant fight for both of them.
Absolutely. What did you think of it was a 116, 112 on all judges' scorecards. Did you think that it was that kind of wide in the decision for Chris Eubank Jr.?
I think Chris won it. To be honest, with the sheer effort that Conor put in, it should have been like a majority, maybe a couple of rounds. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have it so wide. But look, the right man won. He put a lot more in the last closing rounds. So yeah, but it was a nip and tuck affair. It was a hard fought contest. It was a battle, wasn't it? They had a war in there.
Absolutely had a war in there. There was a lot going on during the week, obviously. Eubank Jr.'s dad, senior, kind of said things the week before, but did turn out on the night, which is a great moment, obviously, for the build up and for Chris. What did you make of that? That was it was quite emotional to see Chris Eubank Jr. and senior kind of whatever the differences were come together and then ring walk, etc.
Only maybe an hour before, I put a post out, I put a tweet out about how they need to reunite the father and son, and it was like unbelievable to see the lift opening and out they come. So it was nice. Yeah, it was. This boxing game's hard enough, So it was nice to see. It was nice to see his dad with his son on such a massive event. On the scale of that event, probably never be nothing like it ever again. So it was nice that that the father and son was together.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, look, just on from that fight, there's obviously this fight was part of a 2-fight agreement or whatever. Do you think there will be a rematch, Peter, or do you think that maybe on both sides that they may decide to go elsewhere for the moment?
I don't think so. I think if Conor Benn was getting an hiding, then I can understand. But it surely wasn't that way. Look, we got to give him all the credit in the world, Conor Benn, I'm going to say, because this is a kid. He's had 10 fights at the end of the day. He's had a fair time out. He's had a lot of problems out the ring as well. So, to put on a performance like that, he needs maximum credit. And he shows in this sport what real fighting men are. So he ticks every box for me. I was very pleased for him. I didn't really see a loser in this contest. It was that well fought. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really see any losers. I think even Conor Benn's stock has rose 1,000% for the way he took his loss and everything else. So I just think there's big things to come from him, and I think him and his father should be more than happy with what's gone down there. I know nobody likes to come second best and lose, but somebody's got to lose. And I think Conor can do better next time for sure.
Yeah, look, we'll see what happens next time round, because there are questions whether the rematch will take place, whether both fighters want the rematch, etc. Conor could also drop down to his natural weight of 147 pound and possibly go a different route. But yeah, all that kind of stuff's yet to be seen. But as
I think he suited the weight because he was holding the power. Because when he was hitting Eubank, he was hitting Chris Eubank. So the power's there. The only thing is his legs was out of range. He never got his distance properly, and a lot of them big shots was going over Chris's head. So just stuff like that. And early on, he seemed to be throwing punches everywhere. He expended a lot of energy in the first few rounds, and I think that's a lot of it down to experience. And I think that's why he started fading a bit in the last few, because the pace he kept was like ridiculous. But if he just took his time more, feinted more, and got his feet in range before he released the power shots, he'd have had a lot more success. But they know all this anyway, But when you're in there, it's easier said than done. We're 14 months out, but I think he'll. I think the weight suits him actually. I think he can fight at that weight, no problem.
Yeah, I think in this whole situation, obviously Conor Benn was coming up kind of the weight, and we saw Eubank as well having to, I'm not going to use the word struggle, but obviously that 0.5 an ounce that he couldn't make, which cost him the fine, etc. So we don't know kind of how that situation is with him making 160 again, regardless.
I think for Chris Eubank, he looked depleted. I think it had a bit of an effect on him, and I don't like to see fighters drain themselves like that. So I really think he needs to take care of himself. That's it. You could see he's done his best to get down to that weight and probably nearly killed himself to get there. So for him, I think Conor Benn suits the weight. I think for Chris Eubank, he's really got to look at it, because it's not cannot be healthy, especially how he had to dig deep in that fight. Which even more so, you need to give Chris Eubank again maximum respect for what he had to do and how he had to dig deep in that fight, considering how he's had to dig deep in getting himself prepared for it, making the weight as well.
Yeah.
So for him, it was a double whammy for him. Very, very difficult for him to get down.
It was a great night, great fight. Like I said, it was Chris Eubank's night on the
you know what? I got no problems with the scores, no problem with any of it. I thought it was a fabulous fight. I really did. I enjoyed it. It's one of the best fights I've seen for a long, long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a brilliant fight, to be fair. Can you hear me, Peter? Yeah, all good.
Yeah, I've got you back. Yeah, it was a brilliant fight.
It was a brilliant fight. We'll just see what happens kind of next time round. Right, Peter, just before I let you go, can you give us some updates on your fighters? Let's start with your boy Huey. Is there any dates there penciled in?
Yeah, 27th of June. Obviously, he's repairing his hand because he broke his hand. So he's not punching at the moment, but he's in the gym, he's training, and hopefully he'll be ready for the 27th of June.
Okay. All right, wish him obviously speedy recovery from that hand injury, and hopefully, yeah, he does make that date, which, yeah, he should do, yeah, Peter?
Yeah, he should make that date, yeah, listen, he's, let's see, he should make that date comfortable, to be fair.
Okay. Yeah, just give us a rundown of who's in gym and what dates they've got pending as well, Peter.
I think Savannah Marshall's looking for a big fight in July. She's back in the gym, she's training. Matty Harris, he's out in June. I've got James Dean. He's still in the amateurs. Young Abraham Kohler. He's fighting in the end of May. So yeah, there's a few in the gym, and they're all getting ready.
Good to hear. Good to hear. All right, Peter. Well, listen, appreciate a little reflection on the weekend. Have you got anything else you want to add before we end?
No, I just want to say a massive well done to both of them. I'm sure everybody else is saying the same thing anyway. You know, it was a very enjoyable fight, and whatever money they're getting paid, they've well earned it, for sure.
Absolutely.
How is he, Conor? Anyway, is he all right?
He's all right. I've been on the phone to him today. He's fine. He's I mean, he's not fine. Obviously, he's got the first loss of his career, so that's something. But other than that, he was in the gym today, and yeah, I don't know what he's going to do next. Whether he decides to drop back down to 147 and go that route, or to rematch Eubank at 160, I don't know. But yeah, I think he's itching to get back out again, even though the fight just happened 2 days ago.
Yeah. But listen, they done tremendous anyway. That's all you can say about it. But definitely, it'll go down in. It was a sellout crowd as well. It was nice to see there.
Yeah, 65,000 people there. Absolutely.
I thought McKenna done very well against Liam Smith as well.
Yeah, it was always a tough fight for Liam Smith. Obviously, it weren't to be for Liam Smith, but McKenna, full credit to McKenna.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dark horse. He's a good fighter. He's definitely one to watch coming through, isn't he? There were some good fights on the undercard. Bill Smith, is it the cruiserweight? He done well.
Yeah, he beat Brandon Glanton.
Yeah, seen that fight. Good fight he had.
Yeah, Anthony Yard, obviously that trilogy fight with Lyndon Arthur got the nod on that, and then Vidal Riley beating Chef Clark. So that was the card.
Yeah, Vidal Riley done very good as well because he beat a good opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he stepped up to the plate and he did very well. That's nice for him and his father. Yeah, that's very good. There were some good fights on it. Enjoyed the whole card, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Last one, Usyk Dubois has been announced now, Peter. Got a press conference tomorrow, 19th of July at Wembley. It's a good fight. It's probably the best fight in heavyweight boxing right now. Undisputed, all the belts, etc. Rematch. Yeah, it's a good fight.
Definitely, it will be a good fight. It'll be nice to see it.
Absolutely. Peter Fury, thank you very much for your time, and no doubt we'll catch up with you again soon.
And you, Kugan, good to speak to you.
You too, mate.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, May 2nd and 3rd, a knockout weekend of boxing. Garcia versus Romero and Canelo versus Skull. 2 huge fights. Pick one or go all in for only $90. Exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.